We're live now. Oh my gosh.
Scary.
Live? Anybody?
And there it goes.
Right.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hello.
We're all doing some
Hello,
final
Gun
touches
Nation.
on things here.
I know we're touching things.
We're playing with
touching stuff.
things.
That's right.
All right, gentlemen, how's it going? Wednesday night, Three Guys Chat live at 8 o'clock. We have 750,000 people in the room that are currently watching, so that's impressive.
Yeah.
We are actually at a record of 14. So, yeah, Woo-hoo.
Well,
we are turning it up.
Here's the thing. We have so many that it actually flipped around and started over again.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, we definitely spun the odometer quite a bit.
That's right.
So good evening to all that are out there. Art, Ranger 10, Dennis B, Kathleen Music Lover, Nick Rodriguez. I think that's Pistol Pete. Let's see. Buffer Zone. I'm just doing a roll call here really quick. Fina is here. Peter K is here. Big Daddy G, what up? Dennis B, I think I said you anyway. Fresh Valor, how you doing, buddy? Floridian, wish I was still there. Scott P79, and I think that's it for now. I think I got everybody. Young Guns 173 SW. So that's our quick roll call. Good evening to all of you, and good evening, gentlemen. So what is new with both of you, boys?
Out traveling.
That's a question.
And been shooting some guns, and that's about it with me. What do y'all have going?
Well, nothing terrifically exciting for me. Been working on some non-YouTube things, hence no videos lately. But that's been actually a lot of fun. It's been gun related, and that's pretty much it, man. Just having a good time.
Cool. I finally got the Masada, the mystical, magical Masada. So that is there. Got the old 90-2 back, which I'm pretty excited. Video's dropping tomorrow, so everybody check that out. That would be great. Fantastic job. I got some new night sights for the old Phantom. So if you did not know, let me see. There you go. TFX, or True Glow, Tritium Pros now come with an orange front. So it is very good. It's a very, very large orb in the front, so it's not as dim as the TFX Pros. And it's solid, man. It's a solid choice for this gun right here. And here's the Masada. Boom.
Nice.
Masada. And then I did get a magical phone call today.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So I got some three more babies coming in. So I'm pretty excited.
Wow.
So I'm not going to tell you what they are. Yeah, it's there. I'm having triplets. I'm going to have triplets. Now, of course, today is what? Tuesday. So what is today? Wednesday? I don't even know. It's Wednesday because we're doing our chat. Duh. Yeah. So I figure by the time they mail it, I should have it by Monday or Tuesday of next week. But I'm pretty excited to be getting that.
Nice. Very cool, man.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So anything new in the gun world for you guys? Like KS, you said you were kind of playing around with things non-YouTube related, but gun related. What would be those things, sir?
Well, so I do have the Hellcat. Some people know, a few people, because I kind of mentioned it a week or two ago, I suppose. So I've been playing around with this thing, and I obviously have not done any videos on it or anything like that. Partially because I kind of felt like there were going to be a lot of them out there, and there was going to be a lot of we'll say negativity towards it for whatever reason. But I'd say I think it's a good gun. I think it is a serviceable offering if you were looking for a tiny gun with a lot of go seeds in it, so to speak. It's pretty cool in my opinion. And we talked about, it's so funny. I thought about this the other day. Everybody, when the 365 came out and people kind of got used to it, everybody started saying, I can't wait to see what other manufacturers are going to do in response to this or like this, whatever it is. And people were all about it and clamoring for all of that, chomping at the bit for it. And so along comes another offering that is similar to the P365. And the response was very different than what people had previously been saying. So I think that's kind of funny, but like it or don't like it, that's totally cool. But it works, and it works quite well.
What about you, Big J? What's going on with you?
Just playing with optics. Took some guns out, the P10C comp version and the Shadow 2 and the P09, and did some red dot shooting, and still enjoying the hell out of that. And that's about it. Got some stuff coming up. Going to be doing an interview with a buddy of mine that is really big in the gun world. So we're going to, do some stuff and get a little training, so to say.
Cool. That should be fun.
Yep.
Would you like to tell us who that person is?
Well, he's ex-military, ex-law enforcement, and ex-SWAT. So
it's got to be. So it's KS.
Yes, it's KS. But yeah, no, he, he's actually a trainer, and so I'm going to interview him. We're going to talk about some stuff, and then I am going to be upping my game in some other areas of weapons. So stuff that I have that I really don't shoot, I'm going to break that stuff out and start. I mean, I know how to shoot it, but I'm going to be getting specialized training in it. I'm not going to turn into an operator because I'm not ex-military. I'm not a tactical guy. I'm just want to be a lot more proficient with those weapons.
Sure. Nice. Nothing wrong with being more proficient, right?
No.
So, not at all. I've kind of dove a little bit into this red dot world here. I haven't even started yet. So a lot of people are asking, what are my thoughts on the Swamp Fox versus the 508T? Honestly, I can't give you that because I don't know. I mean, I've held them side by side. I've kind of played with them a little bit. There's some differences. The Swamp Fox is an interesting dot. Definitely, I would consider it out of the class of a 508T or even the 507 because it's really not meant to compete with those two. It's cheaper, it's smaller, but it's nice, but it's got some weird quirks to it, which, obviously I'll go into when I do a review on it. But, I did post some pictures. It's green. It's the circle dot. It's pretty cool. And I think for somebody like me who's just getting into it, I think that would be the perfect setup because I'm going to hit something. I mean, it may not be pinpoint, but Jesus, if I can't hit with this gun, with this ginormous dot and circle on here, I suck balls. And hopefully I don't. But it's interesting. And this one's green, which I thought was kind of cool. You look at some of the green dots out there and they charge more for them. In this case, it was the same exact price. So you get the circle dot in green is the same price as the red dot or the circle dot with red. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I wish more manufacturers would go that route. But I definitely would say there is a slight advantage to that green. Definitely advantage. Shows up a lot brighter. And I like that. So I might be going green at some point, but I'm not right now. No time in the future. Let's put it that way. So yeah, it should be pretty interesting.
Good thing about that green is it's not like a normal green. It's like a really bright fluorescent green. So even if you like shoot into a grass bank, it's a different green, so It doesn't blend in. So, and
I even lowered it to its. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, finish.
Oh, I was going to say, and Hollow Sun has it coming out. I don't know if y'all know this, but gold. They're coming out with a gold illumination. And I didn't know this, but gold, if you're colorblind, all colorblind people can see gold. And I thought that was really cool because, there's some colorblind people that can't see red or can't see green, but everyone can see gold. And I was like, that's pretty damn cool. So I'm interested in seeing what it's going to look like.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, I know that there's a lot of questions out there and this thing's moving quite quickly. Did any of you see any questions out there that you want to throw up or let me know?
Well, Dennis B had asked a question pre-chat that I thought was interesting. He was talking about a CZP07, and he was saying, is he going to harm the gun or hurt the gun if he dry fires without a snap cap? I thought that was a pretty good question.
Well, I mean, I would assume you might hurt it, but, I don't know how many rounds how many times you'd have to dry fire something for it to break. But I know they don't recommend it necessarily, but I don't know. Try it. Find out.
Report back.
You can do it.
Go for it.
You can do it. You do take a chance on breaking the trigger return spring and also the firing pin, or not the firing pin itself, but the pin that goes through the slide that holds it in. You can actually shear those. So you can put a small rubber grommet, just those little O-rings. You can put it behind the hammer. So when you drop the hammer, it'll hit that, or you can run snap caps. If you're going to do a ton of dry firing, I would recommend snap caps or that O-ring behind the hammer.
Yeah, I've seen firsthand the damage that can cause, specifically with the CZ. Now, I think it was an SPO1, but same idea, and it really will chew through that pin, and relatively quickly. So my advice would be, I mean, you can dry fire it a little bit, but I wouldn't dry fire it very much without some sort of snap cap, O-ring, something like that, whatever it is, just to protect your investment.
Yeah, O-rings, you can get those things for like nothing. You can get like a little assortment pack on Amazon where it just comes with a bunch of different O-rings, and they have a really right in the hammer, the little, it mates up perfectly, and you just pop it right in there.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side, Practical Shooter is saying thousands of dry fires on his SPO1 without any side effects. So you get lucky. So I wouldn't do it. I'd want to protect my investment.
Yeah, the polymer versions are more apt to it.
All right, so everybody go home, try tonight. I want everybody to do 10,000 dry fires with your hammer-fired gun to see if you break your pin or a spring. All right, let us know. Let us know in the comments below.
There you go.
So,
I was going to say, Humble broke out. He's a Glock shooter, but he broke out his old CZ. I think it was a 75 that he has, and he was shooting it at the range either today or yesterday and broke the trigger return spring. So he'd pull it and he had to push the trigger forward. But that can happen. That's why they recommend changing those like every after every so many rounds.
So Rabbi Jesus is giving me crap because I didn't do the split screen thing. He's upset.
Yeah, I know
there you go. Is that better?
Yeah,
exactly. Now you know why I did it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, put us back.
Yeah, we're just peons.
That? We'll do that. That's better.
Okay.
That's
better. It's like the Brady Bunch.
Right.
Here's the story.
Good times. Now, a lot of people were talking about the 365 SAS. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, what did you say? What was it?
The 365 SAS.
Oh, the SAS.
I think it's hokey.
Well, Meprolite came out with those things, the bullseye sights, and they were selling them and stuff like that. And I've seen them literally now in bargain bins for like $50, and they were like, what were they, like $190?
Yeah.
Something crazy, but I don't know. The thing that I, question on that now, if of course you buy the SAS, you can't get the optic ready because that's where the SAS is. I don't know. I guess it's to each their own, but for me, nah, that's not for me.
Mm-hmm. I think it's stupid.
Played around with them, but
I personally wouldn't buy one. If somebody had one, I'd like to just try it before I'd ever commit to something like that, because it's going to be completely different. I mean, the sight is actually in the slide, so you're going to have to readjust the way you look at a gun. I'm just not sure how that would work if you're looking at the slide. Like, how do you actually get a clear picture of what you're shooting at? That's the only thing I'm not sure about. Like, how does that work?
Well, it's weird.
It's kind of like a. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, I've seen one. I handled one at Frontier Justice. Didn't shoot it or anything. Had no interest in buying it. I was surprised it was there, but they had one. They're a Sig whatever big dealer. And you're exactly right. It sits in the slide. So when you look at this thing, all of a sudden there's a relatively sizable green dot, if you will, in the front. And it's a very weird look to me. I would struggle with that very much. And I'm not into gimmicks like that. I just give me some iron sights or a red dot if necessary. And I would run with that. I'm not for something that far off the beaten path. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've got bubble levels at home, so I'm good. Because that's what it reminds me of.
I don't think it's that good of a. I mean, I get the fact they want to make it all dehorned and everything, but I don't know. It's kind of stupid.
Right.
But if you also think about it, SIGs, sometimes they kind of shoot high or low for different people. I'm wondering, since the little sight Meprolite deal is in the slide, if that thing will actually shoot kind of point of aim, point of impact now, since it's lower to the bore, just the sight. I'm just wondering if maybe that'll help people shoot it a little more point of aim, point of impact versus, like a 6 o'clock hold or something like that, which some people do with those. I don't know. I've never shot one. I've just played and looked through one.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it being a player on the market by any stretch. It's too much of a niche gun, in my opinion. So not for me.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, let's see.
I agree.
So Art was at a red dot pistol course. So that's cool. Congratulations.
Nice.
Peter K is saying Canon came out with the compact. Anybody see this thing, the Elite Compact? What are your thoughts on that thing?
I actually haven't seen it. I'm looking it up right now.
Really? Haven't seen it?
Nope.
Yeah.
It's a Canon Elite with it's basically a PPQ subcompact. Is what it is. It's really what it is. It looks kind of cool, and it's got a red dot and it co-witnesses. So it's kind of cool.
So I wonder. So my biggest criticism of the PPQ subcompact, and I blatantly don't like that gun, and I love subcompact firearms. The grip is too small. That you can't get two full fingers on it. I mean, that to me that's my gauge right there. I have to be able to at least get comfortably 2 fingers and wrap my pinky down below where the flat base magazine is, what have you. But it's just too small. So I'd be curious to know how short this really is. I'm looking at it right now. I mean, it looks cool. And I like Canics. They're fine. They do well. Their triggers are decent, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
And what do you think, Big J?
It's not for me. I mean, I've seen it, but it like just what KS said, it's just way too small.
Right.
For me.
So Harry's saying that the SAS system doesn't have tritium, so it's worthless in low light, which is a good point if you're into that. I mean, like you said, it'd be shooting a gun without a sight picture, It's weird. It's just weird. Like I said, if I could get my hands on one just to kind of experience what it's like, then I could give you an educated idea, but I don't know, I'm never going to see one of those, so it might be the best gun in the world.
True.
Uh-oh. Caracol update. Here's your update. It's in Idaho again. Masada is in the hand. Boom, Masada. There you go. By the way, this just really quick on the Masada. This is the sleeper gun of the year, in my opinion, for a couple of reasons. The price on this gun for what it gives you is very good. Now, I haven't shot it yet, so who knows? It might blow up in my hand. But what I'm gonna say, the one thing that I've noticed about it that I don't like so far is this thing rattles quite a bit. It's kind of the tolerance is very loose. There's a lot of space in between the frame and the slide, and it just rattles. So, what does that really mean? Nothing.
No.
You can't sneak up on somebody running because they'll hear you. But other than that, I mean, it is a solidly built gun. I'd like to see this in a Glock 19 size. That's what I'd like to see, because that would be pretty sweet. And apparently they're going to be coming out with one, and supposedly they're going to be coming out with the frames in different colors, which should be pretty sweet as well. So I think that, again, the whole modularity thing, pulling out the trigger assembly and all that other shit, and then putting in a new frame, that to me is like, aside from the red dot, that is the next wave of guns, in my opinion. Everything is modular now. And I think that's kind of cool. I think it just gives you more options to play with and customize what you like.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially great for people who can only have one gun, as long as they've got some different caliber choices. I'm in favor of that. And as long as it's not too complicated for people to work on and people to be able to take apart and switch things out, that sort of thing. If it's too weird and wacky, that might be a little bit problematic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not going to do
I think it's a great
test on it, but
yeah, like we said before, I think it's a great option for people who can only have 1 or 2 or 3 guns. You can just have multiple frames.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But the Masada is it's a pretty good gun. Pretty cool. It's got a couple of things I don't like, but other than that, I mean, it's definitely a doable handgun. I mean, if you're looking for a good optics ready gun for $400, I mean, why wouldn't you jump on something like that? Unless you're an anti-Semite, then you won't. But
I shot it, and it's really a good shooter.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't shoot it with the dot on it. I only shot it with the irons, and I don't like the iron sights, but that's why it has a dot on it. Or you can put a dot on it.
Yep. And interestingly enough, the sights that came with the gun, they're not necessarily co-witnessing sights. So I'm curious if I wonder if you even need to have co-witnessing sights on this gun, because the post in the front is semi tall, but the sight in the rear is not at all. It's pretty small, but you can still get it like a bit of a co-witness on it. So it's kind of it really is just an interesting take on this new wave of guns. So it's pretty cool.
I wonder if some of that has to do with which dot you go with. Some are going to sit significantly taller than others. So if you get an RMR or something, you're probably going to have more of a chance of maybe co-witnessing a little bit.
Right. And that's interesting you said that, because I know with the Swamp Fox, it's a little less. With the 508T, I could see it more. So, it's just difference, I guess, like you said, in regards to the window and how low it sits and everything else. So should be interesting to play around with it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the more you shoot a dot, like even if you were to turn the dot off, once you kind of know where the dot is in the window, you can turn the dot off, and then you can shoot, and you're going to be within, that big of where the dot's going to be. So, I mean, if you're trying to shoot a body or whatever, now if your dot gets broken or completely blocked, then you're going to have to go to point shooting either way if you can't see your sights. Even if you had coat in the sights, you couldn't see them.
Yeah, I agree.
So Noel's asking Big Johnson, the resident expert here. It's not that I'm cheap, but what do you guys think of Dovetail mounts for optics?
I personally think that a Dovetail mount, if you're thinking about getting into dots, that is the least expensive way to do it, because you don't have to mill it. For ruggedness, if you're going to beat it up or if you're going to try to carry it, I wouldn't carry it that way, because it does raise the dot assist in the slide. It's going to raise it up, quite a bit. But if you're just trying to practice, and you can get the Dovetail mounts, I've seen them as low as $45 for some pistols and as high as $80 for some others. I think it's a good entry level way to get into dots. So that's my opinion.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts there, KS?
I'm not as much of a fan, and for me, it's because it sits so high on the firearm that I think some people might not be able to appreciate the full benefit of a red dot if you're going to get into it, and it might actually dissuade you from really getting into them and getting a firearm that's actually built for red dots. I mean, I've got a Glock here; it's cut for an RMR, and then I'm looking at the sight post here. And so if you do the Dovetail mount, you've got that whole piece that has to sit on top of that, a millimeter or maybe a little bit less than that. So, I mean, you're losing 2 or 3 millimeters there, and that can make a pretty significant difference. So, if you're kind of testing things out and you can find one of those mounts relatively inexpensively, that sort of thing, if you can do it on the cheap, it's worth trying, I suppose, but I wouldn't judge others because of that experience, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. I mean, obviously the height is increased, and I also don't think you should really give two craps what people think about you having to go the cheaper way. You have to. That's the way it is, and I don't think anybody who just wants people involved in the gun community and having a gun and going out and practicing really care. There's always going to be snobbery. I mean, that's the way it is. You always have the bougie people who have to have the next it thing. But at the same time, if that's what you go with it. Who cares? And on that note, also pick your gun wisely. I mean, like I said, there are some good options out there that are already optic ready. Some are more expensive than others. Obviously, I always look at the optic ready guns that are available, and for me the FN 509M, whatever they call it, DRP or something like that, that's a great gun, but everywhere you look it's like $600, $550 to $600 and change. That's ridiculous. There's no reason why that gun should be that expensive. They're not selling that many units to justify that price. I'd even say the same thing with Glocks right now. You're still coining at about $550 for, if not higher. And I think that's overpriced, but again, get a Masada, $400, optics ready. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And, if it's going to be your first gun, I would invest that way first. And then you have the best of both worlds. And then you'll have to have a very high sight picture, and now you can do what you want with it. At least that's what I would recommend, whatever that's worth.
in the perfect scenario, between having, I mean, me, I would want everything direct milled to the slide, so you have no plate. Because when, if we're talking about the dovetail mount, when it is higher and your recoil, you're going to get a little more bouncing of the dot. Now, can you still shoot it? Yeah, you can. And I've shot one with a mount before. I mean, with the dovetail mount, just to try it. It wasn't mine, but it was someone else's, and I tried it. And now, since I've shot them where they're direct milled, or even like a plate, there's a lot less movement and there's a lot more stability in those type of setups. So that's just another recommendation too.
So before we go into this other question, I just want to say something. Art, this is not a bougie gun. It's a $400 gun that needed work. So how dare you call me bougie, damn it. So let's talk about this question right here. So it says, Smith & Wesson has brought back the 12-round subcompact M&P 2.0. Have you guys seen it?
No, I haven't, but I am all of a sudden extremely curious.
Yep. It's the old school M&P 2.0, what used to be the compact. Now they've called it the subcompact.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So it's kind of cool. But again, for a guy like me who's only can get 10 rounds, I don't know if I want one that small when you can get the compact, which is a fairly solid, amazingly priced, excellent handgun. Still not sure, about that. What are your thoughts, guys?
I'm excited. Again, I like subcompact firearms. I've got 4, I think. I'm a big fan. I like that size. I like how they feel. I like how they shoot, because they're all-day shooters, but they are small firearms, and you can kind of toss them anywhere, but still have that somewhat full-size experience. And you've got the mag capabilities to extend that a little bit. So I'm a big fan of those. I mean, Glock 26 is one of my favorites out there, just because it's so versatile, and I think that size firearm really does a good job. Very carryable. You can do it for home defense. You can go. It's a range plinker. You can pretty much do anything. Now, it's $569. That's pretty expensive. So I imagine the sale price will be significantly less than that. But I'm on board. I think that's cool.
Yeah, as far as the subcompact, they're not. I mean, I have a couple of them, but I don't shoot them very much. And if I do shoot them, they're with the full size 17 round mags in them, with the grip, the X grips. But I mean, it's going to vary with the person's hand size and what they like and what works for them. What doesn't work for me might definitely work for someone else. But
right.
They're just not. I'm compact or full size pretty much dominantly.
Yeah, I like to stick around the compact area myself. The subcompacts are good and all, but I just prefer carrying it. And again, it's based on what your preference is and how you dress and where you're going and all that other stuff. So really quick, have either one of you had any experience? Somebody brought this up in my live chat. I think it was last week, and I don't remember who it was. And I wound up buying it because they were cheap. I think it was like something like... I think it was $15 for each kit. But how many of you have heard of M-Carbo?
No.
No, huh? Yeah, I'm kind of interested in this because somebody had brought it up that they put an M-Carbo kit in their P07. So I looked on their website, and they have a kit that is like a universal kit where it drops the double action. Get a load of this. It drops the double action to 4 pounds and the single action to 2 pounds.
What?
Wow.
So I actually picked up 2 kits. I'm waiting for them to get here. I'm going to put it in the Phantom, and I'm putting one in my PCR. And it seems like a very straightforward. It's all drop-in kit. Don't ask me what it comes with because I can't remember at this particular moment in time. But I'm interested to see how this plays out. And it's pretty cool. It looked pretty cool. I watched the installation video, and I was amazed at the trigger pulls on this gun. So I'm gonna be a little leery, but I'll believe it when I see it. And so far, everybody that has had one has said nothing but amazing things about it. And I just learned about it last week, so I'm gonna try it out and see how it plays out.
Now, question for you: in that kit, and I don't see how they could do it for $15, but in that kit, does it come with an extended firing pin?
It does not.
Okay, because the reason I ask that is when you bring down your hammer spring weight. And I know that they're going to have a firing pin spring, but sometimes those will not set off hard primers.
Well, it also, go ahead.
Do what?
It also depends on the hammer spring. I mean, I have the $20 kits from Cajun Gunworks and all mine. I've never put in the extended pin, and they've been fine since day one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. I mean, there's I think a trigger spring that comes with it, a sear spring or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. All I know is when I watched the video, my mouth hit the floor, and I was like, I just want to try it and see what happens. Because now that I took apart this Beretta, I feel like an expert gunsmith. So I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens.
Right. There you go.
Okay. Well, I was going to say the parts in your Beretta and the parts in your CZ can be a lot different.
Oh, I'm sure every gun is different, but I'll tell you right now. Go ahead and try to pull one of these apart, and you'll probably pull your hair out half the time, especially when one of the springs shoots up at the ceiling.
Yeah.
Not that happened with me, but you know, it was a very complicated takedown.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I always recommend putting a gun in a really big clear bag and taking apart in the bag because stuff does freaking fly everywhere.
I didn't find the Beretta to be very difficult to take apart.
Shut up.
I'm serious. Now here's the thing. When I do that for the first, I don't know, 2-3 times, I have a good YouTube video, how-to video to take them apart, and I just follow them piece by piece, a little by little, pausing a lot, and that sort of thing. And it works out pretty well. So I've taken apart both the Wilson Combat and the Langdon Tactical, and didn't have an issue.
So Dave Gass is an M-Carbo. He did a video on them, so I may have to go back. So check that video out. Be interested to see. And like I said, I mean, I'm going to put it in the Phantom first, shoot it, see what happens, and then if I feel good with it, I'll throw it in the PCR, and hopefully it works. I mean, what could go wrong?
Right.
So of course everybody's chiming in saying the 92 is easy, blah 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 blah. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I've got 2 of the new Apex kits for the 75 or the SP01 and the P01. They introduced new kits too for those, so I've got to put those in, and they're going to be a lot of fun. But they work with the decockers, which is cool too. But they don't offer one for the P07 yet. So.
Let's see. Armsman saying, I'll wait for your video on the M-Carbo kit. If it's good, I'm getting one for my P07. I mean, we'll see. Again, I don't want to promise you guys it's going to work, but I mean, from what I saw, it was pretty impressive. And it seems fairly reliable, so we're going to give it a shot. What the hell?
Yeah, be interesting to see if it works.
But I will not put it on video, me installing it, because it'll be
Ohio Crucifier. He's got the whole kit, yeah. Hammer spring, trigger, firing pin spring, block spring, sear spring, trigger return spring. Yeah,
that's the whole kit.
God, for $15, man, that's cheap.
And I think it was on sale, and then I got a 10% coupon on it because I was going to buy it, then I stopped, and then they emailed me saying, "Don't stop now. Here's 10%." So I said, "Okay."
So you press through.
Yeah,
I mean, is it all plastic?
Yeah, it's made out of glass actually. So
right.
No, I mean and they showed the retaining pin, and it's supposedly a much bulkier, much sturdier pin than what comes with the original CZ. So this seems to be the real deal. I'm pretty excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
There we go. Ohio Cruffler saying $20 on the website. So it's $20, and then I think you can get that coupon code, which I don't really remember what it was, and you save money. And honestly, the shipping was cheaper than it is at Cajun Gun Works, which is why I went and did it that way. Because, and with Cajun Gun Works, you're only buying the 3 springs. This, you get all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So not a bad deal.
Wow.
Nice.
Big Al is blessing us. Thank you, Big Al. All right, let me get rid of that. Oh, the Armsman is in. He's ordering.
Sweet.
Yeah, okay. He's asking Ranger 10, but
No Mike's is saying just put the disassembled 92 into one of Johnson's clear bags and shake it until it falls together. Yeah. And again, my first time ever doing it, for me, it was difficult because I was worried that something was going to go wrong. I mean, now I could do this no problem. The hardest part of this, or the biggest pain in the ass, is putting in this pin that retains the actual extractor. That was the hardest thing because it goes in at an angle, and other than that, I mean, it is fairly straightforward, but keep in mind, there's not really any videos to tell you how to do it on this particular model of handgun. Thankfully, everything in this gun is exactly the same as the 92 for the most part. So it was fairly straightforward.
And if you stick your tongue out when you're putting stuff together, it helps.
Oh,
Obviously.
I lost one spring, and I was like, I just said in slow motion, shit, as the thing launched into the door. Good thing I have these little foam pads for the soundproofing and stuff, because it hit it and then went right down to the floor. So I was like, yes, foam pads.
Nice.
There you go. Dave's saying that they have a bunch of stuff with the PC9, and they are veteran owned and are great to talk to. So that's awesome.
I will tell you to do this, 17, and I would video it. Turn your gun upside down like this. Just turn it up like this.
Yeah.
And put a pencil in it with the eraser. Put it down in the barrel. Of course, make sure there's no ammo in it. And then pull it in double action and watch the pencil shoot up in the air. And this is not a joke. This is seriously. Watch your pencil shoot up in the air. Okay? And film it, or have your wife or kid or whoever film it. And then when you put the other kit in it, do the exact same thing and video it, and it will show you the strength of your springs to make sure, because if you've got it and it's shooting 6 feet out or 5 feet out, and then the other one is like just roll, that means you will have light primer strikes. So I'm just letting you know.
Right.
That's a quick test. Anybody can do it. Only on a hammer
try
gun.
it then.
Interesting. I think that trick actually works for really just about anything with a firing pin.
Yeah, it does. But I meant with the double action, you can really test it to see the difference between your stock versus, your whatever aftermarket you're putting in it. But that's going to be a really good test to see if the consistency out of both kits.
I'm going to put a piece of spaghetti in there.
There you go.
There you go.
Or a little bit of linguine.
Your firing pin will never hit it, but go ahead and do it. Just load it a bunch of spaghetti in there.
Yeah, I want to see. It'll shatter it.
You have to cook the spaghetti first.
Spaghetti.
You have to cook the spaghetti first.
Wet noodles.
Yes.
All right, let's see.
Put some in your pockets too for later.
Havoc had a question. He had a question. He was in, and we're kind of jumping to a very familiar topic. CZs, yay!
Oh, God.
And he's asking AccuShadow or TSO. Why?
If you can only pick those two, and I would go with AccuShadow, and here's the reason. Because if you could only pick one gun, you've got the rail on the AccuShadow where you could put a light on it, and it could probably serve more roles, and it would be double action and single action, versus the TSO is only single action. And you can't put a light on it. But I would say out of those two, now I love the TSO, and the Shadow 2 that I have now is basically the AccuShadow. It's got the barrel bushing and everything on it. But that Shadow for that reason.
What about you, KS?
I would say the same. I would say double action versus single action. I love the TSO, and I have not experienced the AccuShadow, but certainly the Shadow 2. I love the TSO, but it's kind of a one-trick pony, right? Competition range gun. That's really it. The AccuShadow could perform more tasks, but I think you're going to get an excellent firearm, and you're going to have that double action, single action. Unless that's not something you want. If you're a big 1911 person or something, TSO might be the way to go, and it's less expensive than the AccuShadow. So, depends on preference. The TSO is incredible. It's an incredible shooter, but I hear nothing but good things about the AccuShadow.
I'm going to agree with both of you. Next. Let's move along. Let's get off the CZ topic. Let's go to SIGs for a while here. So Nuno Correa is saying, I'd like to know more about the Sig P320 Pro Series and compare it to the X5. So I am not the SIG expert here. I don't really care for SIG polymer guns. So this guy up in the top right, I think it is, he's more of the SIG guy here. So what are your thoughts on that there, KS?
Well, and actually, I have to have to cheat and look up the Pro Series because I know very little about the Pro Series. I'm a big fan of the X5 Legion. I think it's an incredible firearm. I simply don't know enough about the Pro and the differences with it. I don't know if it's advantageous to that, but I mean, again, it all comes down to your purpose, because the Pro Series is not designed like the X5. The X5 is really competition, maybe home defense, perhaps, but I think the Pro Series, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that designed more for military law enforcement? So,
well, I'm looking at the P320 Professional in stock now for $549. That's pretty damn good.
It's a good deal.
And it really does look a lot like the X5. Although actually it has, which again, I don't know if this is correct. So if you guys know, let me know. But it looks like it has optic ready slide, but it looks like it has a co-witnessing sight in the back.
Professional.
That's weird. I would rather have that.
Well, you know what? That's the same size it looks like as the carry.
Right. With a longer slide. This one I'm looking at has a long slide on it.
Okay. All right, so the one that I'm looking at is the Sig P320 Professional Series carry 9mm. So it's the L320CA9 BXR3 Pro.
Yeah, right. Whatever that is.
Whatever that is. But yeah, so it looks like basically, I mean, a carry. I don't know. I don't think there's anything necessarily special about that, perhaps.
Well, I like the fact that you don't lose that rear sight when you remove that plate.
Yeah, that's true.
If that's what it is. I mean, that's what it looks like here in the picture, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and it looks like there's a dovetail in the rear, and the plate is right in front of it. Well, damn it. I may have to buy one of those now.
There you go. Go get it.
No, I'm not buying one. Just kidding. But yeah, I mean, and again, I'm not the SIG guy, but that looked pretty cool, man. I like that. I wonder why they didn't do co-witnessing on that, on the other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I want to try the Pro Sight or the Romeo Pro, but they're expensive. Those are expensive little guys. They're either $400 or $500, something like that. And man, to me, it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking for other questions here.
Yeah, the Pro Series won't take the Romeo 1.
Shooter's saying he wants to fondle the new Steyrs. Well, you might want to learn how to spell it first. I'm sorry, man. It's Stey. Damn it. So
I fondled one yesterday.
Go fondle one. They are fantastic. But wait till next year, Q1. The M's are coming, and that's the one I want to jump on.
There you go.
Let's see. Wait, which one of the M-Carbo spring sets did you get? I don't know. I'll let you know in a second. I don't know. I got the one for the CZ75s. That's the one I got. And I think there's only one, if I'm not mistaken, on their website for that. So I'll check that for you really quick. You guys keep talking.
Oh, Ranger 10 is saying the Romeo Pro 1 is $479. He said it's a great optic and uses it on his X5 Legion. So that's good to know.
Yeah, it's a CZ75 trigger spring kit. It's $19.95. And if you fill out your order, but you don't finalize it, they will email you a code for, I think it was 10% off. At least that's what they did for me. So that's pretty cool. Let's see.
Have y'all heard of this Olympic pull-up AC's comment?
AC. Here we go. Has anyone shot an Olympic Morini match gun with an electronic trigger? Hello. What do you think about the gun? Jesus, you guys are asking some good questions tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never heard of that. It's Olympic, so I'm wondering if it's a bullseye gun. Obviously, a bullseye gun, but an electric trigger?
Morini match gun.
Haven't seen that one.
Oops. Help if I could spell it. Holy smokes.
Oh wow.
That is crazy. That's weird.
Yeah, that's pretty serious right there.
Yeah, I don't even know what to make of that. They have a bunch of different ones. That's pretty cool.
I bet they're cheap too.
Yeah, let's find out. I want to find out. It's a match gun.
Yeah, put it in your cart. Maybe they'll give you 10% off.
There you go.
Sure. Yeah, I bet you they won't.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll send you a coupon.
Yeah, coupon code for 1% off of like $20,000.
Yeah.
It doesn't say. I don't know. Rapid fire MG2E rapid fire. It's let's see. The electronic trigger unit utilizes number 23A 12 volt standard 4,000 plus shot battery, which is fully incorporated into the trigger guard rather than within the grip. So there you go. I can imagine what this thing must cost.
A lot.
Hey, I sent Honest the link. He's asking if he can come in.
Sure.
Nope, can't do it.
If he's going to start telling us about red dots, I'm throwing his ass out, just so you know. I'm just putting it out there already. All right. Let's see. Okay, so let's move on for the Marini that none of us will ever afford. Let's see.
No, Mike's let the outlaw in.
Oh, look who this guy is. Let me let him in. Hold on. Oh, look who's here. It's a pirate. What's up, man?
Tired, you?
Listen, we've been talking mad shit about you tonight, just so you know. We just
Really?
Oh my God. Horrible. We've been calling you all kinds of names like Conan O'Brien look-alike, all kinds of crazy stuff, man.
I could beat up Conan. I'm fine with that.
So we've been talking about a lot of different things. We've gotten some good questions. We just talked about one that I wasn't sure about. I don't know if you were sure about this, but somebody asked about the difference between the P320 Professional Series and the X5. So we just Googled the P320 Professional Series because none of us knew. You know the difference between those guns?
I don't know. I honestly, I've heard of it a few times, but I'm not a big Sig guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, it just was none of us are, and KS didn't even know. We were shocked, but it appears to have a co-witnessing sight on the back.
I was going to say KS. Oh yeah, I've seen the new 365 with the weird Meprolin.
Oh yeah, yeah. We talked about that too. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I've never tried one. I'm not a big guy for change. Like I barely even shoot red dots still, so I don't know. I've never had a sight snag to the point to where I needed them integrated into the slide, but yeah, whatever. What do you guys think?
I think we unanimously thought it was no. Big no.
Yeah.
So
anything to sell a few more guns.
That's true.
Very true. So Art's asking you, sir, is your home defense gun your carry gun, or do you have a separate gun?
No, I've got like 90 guns, so it kind of rotates.
All around your bed. It's actually a circle around your bed, 90 guns. So you hop around to whatever you land on and you just go.
Well, yeah, if my wife had her way, there'd be a moat in front of my house. I think so. I can have as many as I want. Yeah, I use a Daniel Defense Mark 18 and Glock 34.
I have a carton of eggs.
That's a good call. Put
rotten eggs.
radiator fluid or something in them.
I have marbles all over the place, so they just slip and fall, and
they fall.
Yeah. Watch them and laugh and laugh and laugh.
I saw that in Home Alone. That's effective.
Yeah, right.
Paint can hit you in the face.
That shit would work.
Yeah, it would in the dark, and it'd be fun to go too.
You imagine if you were breaking in trying to get a TV and you get hit with a fucking paint can.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I don't think there's many questions right now. Let's see.
We did have a question a second ago, actually.
Music's in awe.
Dustin was asking G43 or 365 XL.
Let's see. Where the hell is that? I can't find it. Whatever. So, all right. G40, Glock 43.
Yep.
X?
No, Glock 43, he just said, versus 365 XL.
M&P 2.0 shield, 4-inch.
Perfect.
That's what
I got to go with Glock. No reason.
Out of those two, if I had to pick, it would be the XL for the grip length.
Yeah, I'd go XL as well, and also capacity is twice as much as the 43. I've never been a fan of the 43. I like the 43X, but the 43 just does nothing for me. I think the XL is a fantastic firearm, and it's got the flat trigger. It's cut for an optic. It's got great sights. all of it comes right out of the box like that. You can get 15 round magazines for it. So I think it's a good gun.
All right.
Art, I do have a light on my gun. I told you that earlier.
So do I, Art.
Art's not taking any shit from you guys.
I know. He's telling us. KS, do you have a light on your gun?
I sure do.
Well, see, I did it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Honest. We
this.
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Streamlight TLR 3, I think, whatever the smaller one is.
I have an Olight.
Yeah, I'm actually using that Olight Alder Pro on my AR now.
It's the only one they sent me. So
yeah.
You know, I've been diving into lasers a little bit now, and I'm weirdly surprised at how effective they can be if you're a pretty good shot already.
You know what? I just want to say one thing. I brought up lasers like months ago, and everybody like pooped on me because of
I shit on you. I did.
Yeah. I remember that. So right there for all you fuckers who were saying no lasers. Lasers are fucking cool. All right, they are cool. They don't have to have a purpose. They are cool.
I'll give you that. You know, the footage looks so cool. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, a green laser and just hitting stuff with it is fun. All right. Now, of course, I got shaky hands, so the laser moves a little bit. But you know what? I can still hit with it, so I don't want to hear it.
Still not a fan. I mean, I got one of those Balder things as well. Not that you would know, but not a thing for me. I like the light. I think it's good light, and I like the fact that it now is dimmable. So you've got two choices on your output, if you will. But I'm not a laser fan.
Yeah, for the tactical guy, that doesn't matter. But if you've ever looked for your keys with an X300 Ultra, it's not the best. It's nice to dim them down a little bit.
Yeah. I've had that TLR 8 green for a long time, the one that has the light and the laser, and I've played around with it. And it's not that it's bad. I'm just not a laser person, because especially if you're shooting out for distance, they'll only go so far. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be shooting 75 yards in my house, but I guess I could use it and not use it, but I would rather have a light than a laser personally if I could only choose one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't ditch a red dot or a light or a pair of iron sights or anything for it. But, just having it for fun and night shooting is pretty cool, I have to admit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just think they're cool.
Makes me feel like I'm in a 90s movie.
Yeah, right? Like, what was that? Crap. Never mind. I was thinking of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I forgot what it was. I think it was like
Cobra.
a racer or something like that.
Cobra.
Yeah, but in all the old movies, they had the visible laser, so you could like trace it right back to the guy. Like, how impractical would that fucking be?
Yeah. Lethal Weapon, they had that one too, and the smoke would go between the laser.
Yeah.
The one where Jet Li took the Beretta apart.
Yeah. That's totally normal. Just like in the movies when you see people in fire and they're talking. Yeah, okay. And you can actually see a half an inch in front of your face. No, you can't, just so you know. But I love those movies. It's so real. So Music's asking P09 or P10? Anybody?
I would weirdly go the P09, I think. But the P10 is an awesome gun as well.
I would say have both. No.
Both. It just depends on what you like, right? Do you like double action or do you like striker?
Yeah. I'd go P10 all day long.
Yeah, and see, I really like the P09, but I like the P10 and the P10F a lot. So, I mean, it's whichever you want as far as double action.
Yeah, I'd go with a P10.
For consistent trigger pull, for probably the majority of the people, if they're not used to a double action, then I would recommend the P10 to them. But
yeah, if you shoot a shadow in competition, go P09. But if you don't, shoot a P10 for everything else.
All right. So Nick's asking you, Honest, do you prefer the old 92 humpback or the M9A3 fat grip?
Oh, the giant grip. I like it the best.
Yeah. Yeah, the rubber grip's kind of cool.
Most people like the skinny grip, though. I've noticed everybody I talk to likes the skinny grip. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
I like the fat grip.
I shot it with the fatter grip and I liked it, but then I went back to the thin grip. I don't know why, but it just I could use new grips on it, but I don't know. I don't know which one's better.
I like the thin grips and also the Vertec grip as well. So not that hump, that swell in the back. I just think I can get a lot more around on it. It reminds me a little bit more of a 1911.
Yeah. And again, that's the 92 that I have, with that stupid wraparound thing they came out with, which is, I guess, kind of a precursor to the wraparound rubber grip, I guess. I don't know. But that's why you got to do that to it. Boom.
There's a question from No Mics. They can track your gun with a mounted light.
Oh, not if they're blind.
Okay, but let me, and this is actually a really good question because I've had tons of people tell me the same thing. But y'all all know that they have an on and off switch with those lights, right?
They do.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like somebody like John Lovell run a light? Like a real tactical guy that knows what they're doing. Like you're never going to track that guy. You know what I mean? And if you are, the light's so powerful, he's going to blind the shit out of you, or he's going to blow your head off. Well, that's the least of your worries.
Yeah, you're on off all the time.
And you're working it with your left thumb to where you can get on your target. You can turn the light off and pop them right in the head, and they wouldn't even know where the hell you are.
Right.
Aaron Cowan from Sage Dynamics, he has a great video on that, like using a light offensively. And, if you're the camera guy, that's the angle you'd be at. Like, you can never see him or define where he's at, or, you know what I mean? There's just no way. Too many lumens, then it's total darkness. Your eye can't adjust fast enough.
And I know you know this, but like, FBI, they teach like hold your light, your handheld light here or hold it way up here. And
the lantern carry.
Yeah. I mean, you want to keep it as easy as possible. So just work your on and off switch, and I think you'll be fine.
Or get yourself night vision goggles.
True.
There you go. Nods.
Problem solved.
Or the Predator mask.
Yeah.
True.
But you got to have the soundtrack.
Try to hit something for the hip without a laser. I can do that.
Yep. Light discipline. There you go.
You know what I'd like to see you do, Honest, on one of your videos? I want you to start like doing some crazy shots, like, bending down and shooting upside down between your legs. Like, I want to see you hit.
I'm not that flexible.
You should
Plus, I'd be afraid I'd shoot myself in the dick. My dick's real important to me.
Or do one of those, like, woo,
Oh, yeah.
It'd be kind of sweet to see that. I think everybody would
Have
like to see that.
Have you ever done any tests where you turn the gun while you shoot? You'd be surprised how many guns jam upside down.
No, I've never done that.
Yeah, it's weird. Like if you've ever taken a class where you have to shoot rollover prone or something like that. Yeah.
Interesting. Because I've always thought you have to do a little bit of tumbling before you shoot. Always.
Oh, a little roll for sure.
Tactical roll.
Right. Some splits, a pirouette, something just to throw them off, freak them out a little bit.
Slip and slide.
Right.
Yeah. It's like that video of that old man in the soccer game where he's the referee and the ball's coming at him and he just does the splits and then comes back up.
There you go.
So didn't get the ball. Yeah, that's what we could do.
So Nick is asking if I'm going to make it to DC. So if you're not aware, I guess there was a 2A march in DC. I think it was in November. Nick, if you can put that date up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go, but at least we can try to advertise it for people who can go. So if you have that date, Nick, just throw it up there and I'll make sure it goes up. Or not. All right, so we're now at 58 minutes. I don't know if you guys want to,
They said, Keith Gregory said November 2nd.
November 2nd. Let me see what day that is. So if you guys would like to say something, we're going to finish this up very quickly here.
Something.
Perfect.
He said no, say something, so I said something.
Say something relevant to your channel.
Do you have any pistols with stocks?
No.
Yes.
I have an SBR with a stock. It was once a pistol.
I have a pistol with a stock and it's legal.
I have a pistol with my arm.
Like a Luger?
No. I have my Deadpool with the Indo Tactical brace.
I thought you meant like something you could attach a stock. I think aren't the Lugers legal because they're so old? Am I wrong about that?
They probably are.
I would think it depends on where you live.
Well, not you.
Yeah, you can't.
Definitely not here. I mean, come on. What's wrong with you?
You can't even carry Tic Tacs in your pocket.
That's right.
Listen.
Well,
I wonder. I got to find that out.
Sticks and stones. All right, so let's get this thing closed out. Who would like to go first?
Go ahead.
Who would like to go first? Let's go around. Let's go with KS first. Let's go there.
All right, fair enough. It's good to see everybody. Happy Wednesday, all that kind of good stuff. Really appreciate it. I'd tell you about all the great things coming up, but I don't know what that is at this point. So, but either way, really appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone being on the chat. Appreciate you guys, and videos are coming, and just if you haven't subscribed to all of us, please do, and check us all out on Instagram. We got a bunch of stuff on there, and we will keep putting out the chats and putting out the videos.
Honest?
I have a nightmare schedule of manual labor ahead of me, and after that, I'll try to put out some videos in between time. I got KS's 320 and his Sig P365 XL that I still haven't shot, unbelievably, and a bunch of other guns piling up, and a Mark 23 and all kinds of stuff. So there's gonna be some cool stuff whenever my wife and I get time to film.
Cool. Very cool. So apparently Honest is the best in this room. Thank you guys for those wonderful comments.
True story.
He graced us with his presence for 5.5 minutes and he's getting all the compliments. That's unbelievable. Great. You know what? Next time we're just going to have a blank screen and we'll have Honest show up. Wonderful.
Like a red stick man there.
Yeah.
You made it look.
Yeah.
All right, so that's about it. I got a lot of good news, man. I got my Masada in, I got the 90-2 in, I got the P229 coming, I got the Inox coming, and I got the what's the other one? Oh, the Beretta APX Centurion RDO. So hopefully I'll have those midweek next week. So that's pretty exciting. The Inox, I got to finish paying that off, and I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. So we'll figure it out. But other than that, thanks, guys. What's that?
What do you think of Masada? Actually,
I like it quite a bit. I think this is the sleeper gun of the year right now.
I kind of thought it was going to suck, but I actually really like it.
Yeah. I thought it would have. I thought the Caracol was going to be sleeper of the gun, but no. I think the IWI Masada is a fantastic handgun, but I haven't shot it yet. So I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to do a video on it, and then start learning the red dot, man. See how I can do.
Nice.
And that's about it. But thanks everybody for joining us as always on Wednesdays. And then we all have a bunch of stuff that we're going to be doing. So just stay tuned, keep watch, keep subbing, keep thumbing up or thumbing down, whatever your preference is. And thanks guys. We appreciate you tonight and have a great night. And we'll see you next time.
Later.
Everyone.
See it.
Carry on.
All right.